This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 1 hour, 42 minutes, 37 seconds, and counting. And everything is continuing to go well today as the launch team works to finalize all aspects of the preparation for the launch of Discovery. Launch remains scheduled for 8:47 p.m. Eastern Time. At this time, the booster test conductor is about to begin the verification that the chamber pressures and the solid rocket motors are at the appropriate levels. Also, air-to-ground voice checks will be starting momentarily between the crew and the mission managers in the firing room, and the crew cabin closeouts are about to begin their wrap-up activities. All checks of the payload's instruments have been completed, and engineers and managers are reporting no technical issues at this time. Currently at the pad and here in firing room 4, all continues to go on schedule for the launch of Discovery. Again, launch time 8:47 p.m. to the International Space Station. At T-minus 1 hour, 41 minutes, 35 seconds and counting, this is shuttle launch control.
And OTC, CFCP.
Good.
Yes, sir, I can give you step 634. Fuel cell purges are complete.
Copy. OVCC, OTC.
Go ahead.
Just checking with you. You can work with the crew module closeout ops?
That's affirmed. We're working the TIR items right now.
Got it. And CMQC shows 638, 639, and 640. And all personnel 212. Verify ready for crew module closeout.
OTC, MS2, com check.
MS2, OTC, reach you loud and clear. Good evening, Beamer.
Good evening, John. Got you the same. NTD, MS2, com check.
MS2, this is NTD. Got you loud and clear. Good evening, Beamer.
Good evening, Jeff. Houston, MS2, com check.
MS2 Houston, we have you loud and clear, Beamer. Beat Army.
Navy, loud and clear. And OTC asks, the crew is ready for astrocom and air-to-ground checks.
Copy, yes. UC 642. Attention all personnel on 212. Any conversation on OIS channel 212 during astrocom check will be heard by crew. Channel should remain silent except for emergency calls. CDRTC.
Go ahead.
During astrocom checks, adjust appropriate volume control. For comfort, do not change audio panel switch configurations.
CDR copies.
And Discovery, OTC, com check, air to ground 1.
CDR loud and clear.
PLT,
MS1, MS2, MS3,
MS4, MS5.
get com check, air to ground 1, switching to air to ground 2. Discovery, OTC, com check, air to ground 2.
CDR loud and clear.
PLT,
MS1, MS2, MS3,
MS4, MS5.
get com check, air to ground 2, going to ICOM A. And Discovery, OTC, com check, air to air.
CDR loud and clear.
PLT,
MS1, MS2, MS3,
MS4, MS5.
copy, good com check, going back to air to ground 1. CDRTC.
Go ahead.
And stand by for MCC air to ground voice check.
CDR copies.
Discovery Houston for CDR and PLT. Configure for air to ground 1. Com checks. Let me know when you're there.
That's in work. Houston Discovery ready on air to ground 1.
Discovery Houston for CDR and PLT. Com check on air to ground 1.
CDR loud and clear.
PLT loud and clear.
We have you the same. Configure for air to ground 2. Discovery Houston for CDR and PLT. Com check air to ground 2.
CDR loud and clear.
PLT loud and clear.
We have you the same. Configure for air to air. Discovery Houston for CDR and PLT. Com check air to air.
CDR loud and clear.
PLT loud and clear.
And we have you the same. Configure for SIMO. Discovery Houston for the entire crew. Com check.
CDR loud and clear.
PLT.
MS1, MS2, MS3,
MS4, MS5.
And Discovery, we have you all loud and clear. This completes the air-to-ground voice checks.
personnel on Air-to-Ground 1. Astrocom voice checks complete. OIS channel 212 available for normal use. GLS OTC.
GLS?
Step 712. Orbiter vent doors be moved momentarily.
GLS copies.
And PVD OTC. 212.
TVD.
Have a go on 713.
Copy.
And OTCS.
Good, sir.
It looks like the crew module is ready for launch. I'm ready to disconnect and get out on your call.
Copy, sir. You have a go. QC step 641. OVCC OTC. OVCC OTC.
Go ahead, sir.
Step 678. Egress crew module. Verify ready for hatch closure.
Copy that, inward. OTC CGLS 212.
Good, sir.
Yes, sir. I can give you step 730. GLS initialization is complete.
Copy 730.
And I can also give you step 599.
Copy 599.
OTC, PVD.
Go ahead.
I can give you 715.
Thank you. OVCC OTC.
Go ahead, sir.
You have a go to close and latch the hatch. Pursuit 7. Step 716.
Copy that. We're getting there.
Copy.
And OTC, OVCC?
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. We're starting hatch closure right now.
Copy that. And ECL and AFM, OTC?
ECL.
Copy, hatch closure and work. AFM, you copy? AFM copies. Thank you.
And OTC, OVCC.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. I can verify the hatch is closed, locked, latched. Continuity and seal leak check are complete and satisfactory.
Copy that. Step 723.
And we're now picking up with ECL and hatch pressurization.
Copy. And ECL, you copy step 723?
ECO copies.
And 724?
Affirmative.
CDRTC?
Go ahead.
Stand by to perform cabin leak check. Master alarm and light will come on as a function of high cabin pressure. Cabin clacks and master alarm will also sound due to high cabin decay rate. You have a good reset master alarm.
CDR copies all.
And CDR, perform cabin leak check per your checklist.
That is in work. OTC CDR cabin leak check is complete.
Copy, sir. ECL 726
It's verified.
and 727. You have a go.
Copy.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 1 hour, 17 minutes and counting. Activities are continuing for launch of Space Shuttle Discovery on mission STS-116 tonight. Launch time remains set at 8:47 p.m. All continues to go well with technical operations to prepare for the launch of Discovery. At the shuttle landing facility, which is located about 5 miles west of the pad, the convoy that would support the shuttle, should it have to make an emergency return to KSC, is on site and ready to support. Also staging himself out of the shuttle landing facility is astronaut Steve Lindsay, who's using that facility for his weather reconnaissance flights. He's been flying in the T-38 training aircraft as well as now the shuttle training aircraft. Continuing to monitor our weather situation, the only weather issue that we currently have outstanding is the crosswinds and some clouds, but that seems to still be trending in a positive direction, even though we've had a couple of spikes in the gusts. We're still monitoring it and still very hopeful that it will be acceptable for launch at the time of 8:47 p.m.
Go ahead, sir.
Verify step 838.
Copy.
We just heard that the cabin leak checks by the commander is being completed at this time. And over the next few minutes, the pre-flight calibrations of the inertial measurement units will be completed. With everything going well, no technical issues being discussed by the launch team at this time. We're at T-minus 1 hour, 15 minutes and counting. This is shuttle launch control.
TC CL212.
Good ECL.
I need to get a cabin pressure reading on panel A1 from the CDR.
And CDRTC.
Go ahead.
Need a cabin pressure reading, please, for ECL.
And on the meter, it looks like 15.0.
Copy. Thank you.
This is Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 1 hour, 11 minutes, and counting. And we just had a brief weather update from our launch weather officer, Kathy Winters, and she has indicated that they have adjusted their forecast for launch time. And with the crosswinds looking much better now, trending in the right direction, she's adjusted her percentage for chance of violation to 30%. That's down from 60, which is actually down from 70, which we had earlier today. So the new prediction for launch violation is at an all-time low today at 30%. Because the crosswinds are starting to look like they're trending much better, much more favorable in our direction. We'll stand by for that. We still have to make real-time assessments as we move through the evening. Launch is still about 2 hours away. But at this point, everything's definitely looking a lot better. At T-minus 1 hour, 10 minutes and counting, this is Shuttle Launch Control.
OTC, CDNC. Good, GMC.
Step 729, on you there, compass complete.
Copy, thank you. GNC ATC.
Go ahead.
Step 698, can you verify ready for downlift dump?
Verified.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 60 minutes and counting. Everything continues to go well and as planned with today's countdown for the launch of Discovery on Space Shuttle mission STS-116, a 12-day mission to the International Space Station. At this time, all 7 crew members are aboard Shuttle Discovery and in their assigned seats. The pre-flight alignment of the inertial measurement units has begun, and this is a alignment check that is scheduled to be completed during the T-minus 20-minute hold, which is our next hold point. That hold will extend for about 4-10 minutes. Another hold is planned at T-minus 9 minutes, and that hold will extend for about 45 minutes. Today's launch represents the 33rd flight of the Space Shuttle Discovery. The final inspection team is back in the firing room making their report to the mission management team and to our launch director, Mike Leinbach. And the final inspection team report no violations. They're indicating that there's minimal frost on the launch pad, but that is not an issue for liftoff. Space Shuttle Discovery's mission STS-116 to the International Space Station is one of the most complex ever. 7 shuttle astronauts and 3 station astronauts will work closely with flight controllers at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston to reconfigure the station's electrical power and cooling systems. The station has been running on a temporary electrical system since 1998. In the new permanent configuration, it will incorporate power from the Port 4 or the P4 solar arrays that were installed during mission STS-115. Shuttle Discovery is also delivering a new station crew member, Sonny Williams, and an important new element for the station's girder-like truss. It's the 4,000-pound P5 truss element. It will extend the left side of the overall truss, which will allow P4 solar panels to rotate. It also sets the stage for the future relocation of the P6 solar arrays. STS-116 astronaut Sonny Williams will replace Expedition 14 flight engineer Thomas Ryder, who will return to Earth aboard Discovery. Landing is scheduled for December the 21st. Again, with everything going well technically, our weather officer, Kathy Winters, has also indicated that weather is trending better in our direction. The crosswinds that were concerned with earlier in the day, we're still monitoring, but they appear to be coming in line with what our requirements are. The circuits are fairly quiet at this time, not much discussion. Everything's going well. At T-minus 57 minutes and counting, this is shuttle launch control.
Go ahead.
Okay, just let the crew know we're getting ready to move the probe and they might get a clock soon.
CDR 2C.
And CDR copies that.
Thank you, sir. CCME, OTC, 212. CCME, OTC, 212.
CCME.
For your RFF source verification, you want to quality on 128 or 122?
128.
Okay, I took the right one. CCME, OTC 212.
CCME.
Step 756.
Copy.
And you're working step 1, up perform 2.
Can you repeat, please?
Step 2 is not performed.
That's correct.
Thank you. GLS OTC.
CLS?
Step 807 per the clock.
Yes, sir. We'll work that per the clock.
Thank you.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 51 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. And as we look at the Space Shuttle Discovery sitting on Launch Pad 39B, it's interesting to note that this is the first nighttime launch that we've had in the Space Shuttle program in over 4 years. The Space Shuttle itself, from the bottom of the solid rocket boosters to the top of the external tank, stands 184.2 feet tall. The external tank carries about 500,000 gallons of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. The liquid hydrogen, of course, is the fuel. The liquid oxygen, the oxidizer, used for the 3 main engines. And inside the ET is the large liquid hydrogen tank, which holds about 383,000 gallons, and the smaller liquid oxygen tank, which holds about 143,000 gallons. The solid rocket boosters, there are 2 of them on either side of the external tank, are 149.2 feet tall and 12.2 feet in diameter.
ITC CL212.
Steady, CL.
Okay, initial cabin leak checks complete at 814.
Copy 814.
The external tank itself is about 154 feet long and 27.5 feet in diameter. Its liftoff weight is 1,647,000 pounds. Empty, it weighs 58,500 pounds.
Configuration for your checklist. That is in work.
The orbiter Discovery itself is 122 feet long. Its taxi height is 56 feet, and its wingspan is 78 feet.
Copy, sir. ECL
Its
copy.
landing weight is 242,000 pounds. It has 3 main engines with a thrust at liftoff at sea level, operating at 104%,
Copy.
creates 394,000 pounds of thrust each. Of course, the crew on this mission consists of 7 individuals. The gross liftoff weight is 4.5 million pounds. Mission duration for this flight is 12 days. The nominal mission can be up to 18 days. Total thrust at liftoff is 7 million pounds. Again, the height of the entire stack from the base of the solid rocket boosters to the top of the external tank is 184.2 feet. The first mission of the Space Shuttle was STS-1. It launched from Kennedy Space Center's Launch Pad 39A on April the 12th of 1981. This is the 117th launch of the Space Shuttle. At the launch pad in the white room, our closeout crew are completing their activities. They have successfully performed the leak checks and closed the crew hatch. And even though we were 2 hours down on our tanking operations today, we were able to catch up with that in a very quick fashion. In fact, we kept the astronauts on their normal schedule. They were not delayed at all. So that was a good response by the launch team to be able to get us to this point.
Go ahead, sir.
Sure you got it work already, but close out the white room for 27.100. Verify change for ECS air damper open.
Again, our weather forecast is starting to improve. The crosswind constraint is starting to look much better now. Weather forecasters have been working this situation very hard today, monitoring it, keeping the launch manager and the mission management team, the launch director, and with up-to-date details on where we stood. And it also looks like our weather status for our transatlantic and port sites are going to be fine. The only TAL site that we have 3 TAL sites, and at least 2 of them will be acceptable for launch today, so we're good there.
Yes, sir.
Again, with everything going well,
White room configuration.
we're at T-minus 45 minutes, 45 seconds, and counting. This is shuttle launch control.
And requesting permission to leave the white room and go down the elevators.
Copy, stand by. VCC, OTC, you have a go, sir, to egress.
Copy that, sir. And going off the net.
Copy. QC 904.
Copy.
ATC CL 212.
Steady seal.
I can give you 837.
Copy, 837. And what do you have for 839?
It is negative 0.003.
Copy, 839.
We're ready for 840.
Stand by. CDRTC. Go ahead. Perform cabin vent valve for your checklist. That is in work.
OTC GLS 212.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I can give you steps 808 through 813. GLS mainline activation is complete. And step 810 was as marked.
Copy. OTC CDI, the cabin vent is complete. Copy, sir. In ECO, 846.
I can verify that. Copy.
Same QC, OTC.
Thank you, sir.
847, 848, not performed.
Copy.
CHGD, OTC. 212.
HTD,
If you copied on 232, step 840.
I copy that now.
Thank you. And QC will take a not perform on 849 also.
QC copies.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 41 minutes and counting. And the closeout crew has just departed the launch pad. They're actually making preparations to get into the vehicle to actually depart the launch pad, but they have departed the white room at this time, so they have wrapped up their operations there. Just a few minutes from now, the NASA test director will be talking to the Eastern Range, and they'll be completing their command tests, and a range safety systems closed-loop test will be performed. Now, this is simply a verification of the paths that a destruct signal would travel to the range safety ordnance located on the solid rocket boosters if that's necessary. It's also used to check the status of the range safety signal itself. The ground launch sequencer mainline computer program is being activated and is now in the process of processing pertinent data. This program monitors all key commands and systems prior to assuming control of the countdown at the T-minus 9-minute mark.
OTC DPS. That's step 834. Copy.
Everything continues to go well here at the pad and in launch control firing room number 4. The launch team continues to perform a series of its well-planned and charted-out procedures, each of which is necessary for a successful launch tonight. Again, our launch time, 8:47 p.m. and 35 seconds. 8:47 and 35 seconds. At T-minus 39 minutes and counting, this is shuttle launch control.
OTC CGLS 212.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have some steps to bio with you on starting on page 1101.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I can give you step 762 with fill-ins of 10 minutes, 0 seconds for window open, and 4 minutes, 22 seconds for preferred. On page 1102, I can give you step 764 and 765.
Copy.
On page 1103, I can give you step 766 with fill-ins of 10 minutes, 0 seconds for hold time remaining, 40 minutes, 0 seconds for window open, and 45 minutes, 38 seconds for preferred. I also can give you steps 767 and 768.
Copy.
And then on page 1119, I can give you step 835.
Copy 835.
Thanks, sir.
CDR OTC.
Go ahead.
Perform past BFS transfer preparations per your checklist.
That's in work. OTC and CDR, past BFS transfer prep complete.
Copy, sir. Perform ohms GN2 pressurization per your checklist.
OTC, CDR, ohms GN2 press is complete.
Copy. PLT OTC.
Go ahead.
Perform water spray boiler GN2 supply activation per your checklist.
That's in order. OTC, PLT, water spray boiler GN2 supply activation complete.
Copy, sir. EPD, OTC.
EPD.
You ready for 879?
Yes, sir.
You have a go.
Copy, thanks.
CHPD, OTC. CHPD, OTC.
Go ahead.
Step 885.
OTC, EPD.
Go ahead.
I can give you 880 through 884 complete.
Copy, sir. CDR, OTC.
Go ahead.
Stand by to perform SIMO air-to-ground voice check.
And we copy that.
Discovery Houston for the entire crew. Com check.
CDR, loud and clear.
PLT,
MS1,
MS2, MS3.
MS4,
MS5.
And Discovery, once again, you are all loud and clear. Some updates to FDF follow. Your first is the altimeter setting, ascent checklist, page 1-10, and that remains the same as briefed, 30.36. How copy?
Copy altimeter 30.36.
Good copy. Your next update is the comm boundaries flipbook, page 2-4. Let me know when you're ready.
Chief Discovery, we are ready for the commo boundaries.
Okay, the first one is press to ATO, and this remains as originally printed at 10.6. Single engine ops 3 is as called to you Thursday night, 12.3. Press to MECO, 14.0, and single engine press, 17.6. How copy?
Yeah, we copy. Press to ATO the same at 10.6. Single engine ops 3, 12.3. Press to MECO 14.0. Single engine press 17.6.
Good copy on all. Next update on the facing page for the throttle bucket. PC to 72% is decimal 79er. PC back to 104 will be 1.12. How copy?
Copy. Throttle down at Mach 0.79 and throttle up at 1.12.
Good copy. Next update is on the next page for your planar window, and these remain the same as called to you Thursday night. In planar window number 1, it's 141.0 and 135. Planar window 2 is NA. How copy?
Copy. For window 1, it's 141.0 and 135. NA for window 2.
Good copy. Next update is back in the ascent checklist, page 8-7. Let me know when you're there.
Houston Discovery, we are ready at 8-7.
Okay, Discovery, your max rates in first stage. Roll 2 degrees per second at 50 seconds. Pitch 1 degree per second at 60 seconds. Yaw is less than 1 degree per second. And trajectory lofting in second stage is none. How copy?
Okay, I understand. Roll 2 degrees per second at 50 seconds. Pitch 1 degree per second at 60 seconds. Yaw less than 1 degree per second. And trajectory lofting second stage, none.
Stand by.